Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay. Kamala Harris yesterday. I record this on Wednesday afternoon. She was in Georgia for a rally on Tuesday and was commenting that the momentum in this race is shifting and there are signs that Donald Trump is feeling it. You may have noticed. And then she called him out because Trump wants to pull out of the November debate. God, November debate, I mean, you only have a few days before the election, so really right up against it. But then she had an iconic quote. Well, Donald, I hope you'll reconsider to meet me on the debate stage. Because, as the saying goes, and then she kind of pauses and purses her lips in a little smirk. If you got something to say it to my face. And then the crowd erupted. And it's just such swagger that's in her. And, because Trump's a bully. And, he builds this mythology that he tells it like it is. His followers like, oh, yeah, Donald Trump tells it like it is. She just called him out and laid him out flat. You got something to say it to my face. How can he back down from that? He can't. He can't possibly. She won. She won with that. And if he doesn't show up, the empty podium debate will be amazing. He's got no choice. He's got to show up for these debates now. He said he was likely to debate her in September. But he was talking about pulling out of the one in November. I'm curious. I want to read on the energy of Kamala Harris going after Trump and just hitting him right between the eyes with, if you got something to say it to my face. Because it just the message says, I'm not backing down from you. I'm not even remotely intimidated by you. And bullies don't want to look somebody in the eye and say something to their face. They want to say it behind their backs, which is what Trump does all the time. Okay? Let's be entertained, because this is going to be for entertainment purposes only. Energy around Kamala Harris telling Donald Trump, if you got something to say it to my face. As my brother would say, do you even shuffle the deck? How many of those cards do you have in there? Okay, so we start off with the double card. She looked him right in the eye. And, there's no way for Donald Trump to gracefully back down from this. Absolutely none. There'll have to be some type of last-minute cancellation type thing. Because this goes right to Donald Trump's ego and his, to the heart of the matter of Trump and Trumpism. It's all this bluffing, all this bluster, and she just called him out to it. He's got no out. So guess what? Somebody's gonna have to plan. It's almost like, somebody came up with this idea. It's like, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Now Trump's got to make plans for 2 more debates. He doesn't even want to do any of them, much less 2 of them. Underarching the energy underneath this was a power move on her part, and it's a victory for her part. Low energy is look at me. But here's the thing. Donald Trump thrives on the look at me energy. And not only is Kamala Harris, calling him out on stuff that even Fox News is going to carry that. Because that's going to, rile up the Trump supporters. And I don't know who's hosting the 3rd debate, if Fox is doing it or who's doing the 3rd debate. But if Fox was doing it, yeah, they're going to get a bunch of Fox viewers on it. They can see the dollar signs from a mile away. They like this. This is WWE craft right here. But, it also is like, Kamala's like, yeah, look at me. She's out earning Donald Trump. She's out polling Donald Trump. She's out news for the last week. She's been the headline of the news for the past week. Everything that Donald Trump was enjoying as an advantage over Biden, Kamala Harris has over Donald Trump. In the past, you have the 7 of coins. There's a strategy here with this. You have to evaluate what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Kamala Harris and her handlers are shrewd. They know what she's capable of, and they know that debates are going to play to her strengths. Donald Trump only can say like two things. He's going to talk about inflation. He's going to talk about the border. And then he's got a backup group of just nastiness about talking about Kamala's race or her being a DEI or a loser because she failed a test or something along those lines. That's like secondary stuff. But he's a two-trick pony when it comes to that. In the Georgia one, she was talking about reviving the bipartisan border security bill as a priority for hers. And then she went into detail on how she would lower inflation, whereas Trump says, I'll just drill. She's like, we're going to cap prescription drug prices. We're going to get rid of hidden fees. We're going to pass legislation on price gouging. And hers is a multi-step thing that would actually do well with the economy, whereas Trump is just drill, drill, drill. Asking how the energy is around this, say it to my face. Current situation is the Two of Swords. It's a double-edged sword when you do that because Trump, he's hard to control. He doesn't stay between the guardrails. He doesn't play nice. He doesn't play within the rules. So, and prosecutors are usually constricted by the rules. So how are you going to handle it? You call him out. He's going to come out. You got to be ready. You got to be ready for what he throws at you. Now, fortunately, there's only two things he ever talks about, so you don't have to do a lot of fact planning. It's how do you game plan it for all the stuff that he goes off on a tangent on. Overarching energy is the Hanged Man. An interesting gambit. Trump has not dealt with somebody like Kamala Harris before, and she's seen him and what he does and how he does it. So I do think she's game planning for it. There could be, on a low energy, there could be somebody tossing somebody under the bus. This is, while Trump does well just going off script, if he's not careful and she's got defenses and traps laid for him when he goes off script, this could be an absolute disaster for him. Lesson to be learned is the Ten of Swords. I think she does have a game plan, and I think she feels like she is going to, just stick him with facts and points and, just score points, point after point after point after point with him. There'll never be a big death blow. There's not going to be one jab through the heart that kills him because that would require having a heart in the first place. But what you're going to do is you're going to make him look like a fool in front of people. You're going to taunt him. You're going to drag his butt out, and then you're going to hit him just jabs in the face. You're just going to keep bloodying his nose. It won't knock him out, but you just need to bloody his nose and embarrass him and humiliate him. The outcome's going to be the Three of Swords. Disappointment, heartbreak, betrayal. Just could be that we've got 3 debates coming on here. We've got two more debates coming up. It's funny. It won't make a difference for two of the people. For the left-leaning folks, it shouldn't make a difference. For MAGA, it won't make a difference. And then there's people in the middle that it could make a difference. Hopefully what we're going to see out of this is a definitive winner or loser with these debates. In the end of the day, the debates don't decide the election. Except maybe with Joe Biden, where his debate performance was so poor. Maybe that's what that is. That last debate performance was really poor. We cannot have a debate performance like that again. Kamala Harris doesn't get to lay an egg on this one, on either of these up two debates. Trump can lay an egg because it won't matter for his supporters, right? It basically, Kamala Harris just has to not lay an egg. She has to score her points, come across well, be aggressive, and she should do fine. How is Kamala feeling about going into these debates with Trump? Get a little bit of insight on Kamala Harris debating Trump. What might she do differently that Joe Biden did not do particularly well? What's Kamala Harris going to do differently in these debates? I'm going to leave it like that. 10 of Wands. Gotta make it burdensome. Let's see, what's going to be the burden here? Crossed with the plan. It's a big undertaking, but she's got a plan, a step-by-step plan. Now we had the 10 of Swords, and you might have 10 points that you need to make on this one. And part of this burden just could be to explain about the misinformation coming out of his mouth. It's expertise. Here he goes again. This is called gaslighting. All those statements he just said aren't true. Let me give you an example of one of them that's not true, and then explain it. And so again, Trump only can talk about two things: inflation and the border. So if you can say how he's lying about millions of people crossing the border, fact of the matter is, this many people cross the borders, and he said there are all these asylums and stuff like that. They're dumping all their prisoners. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. He's just making stuff up to scare you. Why is he trying to scare you? Because if you're scared, then it seems like he's the only one who understands the problem and he's the one who can fix it. And that's simply not true. Ask yourself, where's his border wall that he promised you? He said Mexico was going to pay for it. Mexico's never said they were going to pay for it. Matter of fact, they've gone out of the way to say they're not paying for it. Call him out. Call him out. Call him out. Steve Bannon was going to raise money to build the border wall after Trump left. You gave him millions of dollars, and he stole it from you. He's on trial for that. It's going up in December. Call him out. Call him out. Call him out. Hit him with the reality of it. In the past, you got the 10 of Cups. You have to attack the mythology that things were better under Trump from 2017 through 2020. That's where you have to go after him. You have to point out all the things that were wrong going on there. All the stuff that he says are great, you have to point out all the burdens that were brought on with that. If he says the economy was never better than it was underneath him, point out how, when he first inherited the economy, it was all from Obama, and all he did was add tariffs on China that hurt American farmers. Made them get rid of their entire soybean crops, just being plowed over in the field, and then the farmers had to get subsidies from the government in order to make their bill payments. Remind people of what happened and why it happened. Current situation when she's looking at strategizing here. 3 of Wands. You gotta be ready for anything he throws at you. And he might start talking about Israel or some other place like that. But you just got to be prepared. You got to be flexible. And you've got to be able to have your own talking points ready to go too. And guess what? They could be fact-free because it's not like the media fact checks anything, right? Oh, she's seen him debate before. She knows what's coming. So the overarching energy, you've got to just show your strength in education. Be ready for the economy. Be ready for immigration. Have your talking points ready to go to show him that he's a liar. And he just makes stuff up. The lesson to be learned is the Queen of Wands. Absolutely take it to him. Take it to him. Never back down. She won't. She was not going to back down from this guy. Just laugh at him and humiliate him. Stick and move. Stick and move. Point out the absurdity. Point out give an example of why he's being absurd, and explain it to people so that they understand. Outcome is the Chariot. The debate will go right on through, and if she can stick with this, she'll be an unstoppable force. It's just, she's going to come across as strong, rock steady. All these cards are about steadiness. Taking action, being steady. Slow and steady, winning the race. This is not... Trump is always the rabbit. And she's going to be the tortoise in this case. In this case, slow and steady will win the race. You just need to explain to folks the rabbit's strategy of distraction and getting you to look in the wrong direction. All about misdirection. Just educate them. It'd be lovely to see it. Trump. She's just called him out. Say it to my face. How is Trump feeling about a black and Indian woman, or a woman of African American descent or Indian descent, of her minority descents, calling him out to his face? Calling him out on TV for everybody to see. Say it to my face. I bet you, the rage machine inside him would probably want to commit physical violence against her. Because how dare she, the misogynistic a-hole that he is. But, how's he feeling about that? I'm curious. I'm only going to give him a 4-carder because he's not that complex. The death card. Well, yeah, he might want to unalive people on this one. That was like a final straw for him. He's seeing red or black, as the case may be. Got 6 of Swords. Temper. 2 of Swords. Oh, Lord. Somebody's blood pressure may have gone way up when she did that. So we have the death card with the ain't no brawl like a hillbilly brawl card underneath it. So I think when she said that and it got back to him, his blood pressure went up 50 points. And all he could see was, how do I get my revenge on this one? His temperance is about patience and integration. No, I think this is the opposite. This is the underlying, this is the reversal. Anger, just seething anger. It's not like he's patiently waiting. He wants to respond immediately. This would you typically get one of your 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. rage tweets while he's sitting on the toilet. Type of response. If he was trying to move away from doing debates, I think he's going to have to rethink his positions. Because how do you back out gracefully from this at this point? I don't know how he does it. And his ardent supporters are going to insist that he take her down a peg or 5. Because who is she? She's a woman and a minority, no less, talking to the great and powerful Donald Trump. The third coming, or whatever you want to call this guy. Jeez. Okay. Finally, spiritual lesson to be learned from Kamala Harris telling MAGA and Donald Trump to say it to her face. You're going to call her a whore? Say it to her face. You're going to say she slept her way to the top? Say it to her face. Say it to my face. Y'all talk behind... You're all the keyboard warriors. You know it's the ones I'm talking about, right? They're all tough and everything like that behind the keyboard. And then if you ever see what they actually look like, there's some pimply-faced 14-year-old or something like that. Or some incel that weighs like 500 pounds sitting on his bed, surrounded by empty bags of fast food and junk food or something. I mean, it just all these angry, unhappy people that attack people anonymously because they can, and there's no consequences, there's no repercussion. They're bullies, just like Trump. So what's the spiritual lesson about bullies and things along those lines? I'm hoping we'll get an answer on that. 3 of Wands, just like Kamala Harris had in that position. 3 of Wands, get ready, it's coming. Ace of Swords, she's a woman on a mission. And things are coming. We got 3 months to go here. center underneath it is nostalgia or the way things were. Naivety. I don't think it's any of those things. This is the patronizing, the man telling the little girl, you're just a little girl. Here's a flower. Girls like flowers. It's like forcing those gender roles onto people here. Taking action. In the American dream, people's life and happiness here. She's gonna, if she's gonna go her way. If she wins this election, she's gonna win it her way. If she's gonna lose it, she's gonna lose it her way. She feels that she's got the moral high ground. She's, again, this is a card I usually use for the Department of Justice. She's an extra district attorney and attorney general. I think she's got this. She's got this. This is going to she's ready for him. She's got a plan of action. And she's going to win. She knows how to implement that action. She's prepared. She's going to celebrate. And she's not naive. She's not stupid. She knows what she's doing. It's an interesting little dichotomy with this card. Anyways, not much of a spiritual lesson as much as just a reassurance that she seems to have this. So let's trust that she does. Thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.